The construction site was already active when the morning shift began. Workers gathered for the daily briefing, listening carefully as the supervisor outlined the tasks and reinforced safety procedures. It was a routine start. Everyone knew their responsibilities. Everyone understood the process. Among the team was Carlos, a skilled worker who had been part of the project for several months. He was familiar with the procedures and had performed similar tasks many times before. That day, his team was assigned to prepare a section of the site for material handling. It involved organizing equipment, checking the area, and following a sequence of steps designed to ensure safe execution. At the beginning, everything went as expected. Each step was followed. Each check was completed. The environment felt controlled, but as the morning progressed, the pace of work increased. Deadlines were approaching, and the team was motivated to maintain productivity. That was when a small change happened. It was sotto almos un noticiable. One of the steps in the procedure, a brief verification before moving forward, was not completed. No one stopped to confirm it. No one clearly said it was skipped. It was simply assumed. Carlos noticed it. For a moment, he hesitated. He considered speaking up, but the team was already moving ahead. Everything seemed fine. So he continued with his task. At first, nothing appeared different. The work continued. Materials were moved. Equipment operated normally. The day carried on. But as activity increased, small inconsistencies began to appear. Workers had to make slight adjustments. Movements required more attention. The process did not flow as smoothly as before. Carlos began to feel that something was not aligned. He paused and looked around. Then he remembered the missed step, that brief verification. The moment procedure had been ignored. It was not a major action, but it was important. He realized that skipping that step had created uncertainty in the process. Without that confirmation, the team was relying on assumption instead of certainty. Carlos decided to act. He approached the supervisor and explained what he had observed. Together, they reviewed the situation. They paused the activity and checked the area carefully. During the review, they identified small adjustments that needed to be made. Nothing severe, but enough to show that the process was not fully aligned. The team corrected the setup and re-established the proper sequence. Within a short time, the workflow improved. Tasks became smoother, movements became clearer, and the environment felt more controlled again. Afterward, the supervisor gathered the team for a brief discussion. He spoke calmly and directly. "Procedures exist for a reason," he said, "not because they slow us down, but because they guide us safely." The workers listened. He continued, "When a step is skipped, even a small one, we introduce uncertainty. And uncertainty is where risk begins." Carlos reflected on those words. He realized how easy it had been to let the moment pass, to assume everything was fine, to trust the flow instead of the process. The supervisor encouraged the team to reinforce a simple habit. Every step should be confirmed. Every procedure should be followed completely, not out of obligation, but out of responsibility. The work resumed for the rest of the day with a renewed sense of awareness. The pace remained steady, but the attention to detail had increased. At the end of the shift, Carlos walked through the site one last time. Everything looked organized. Everything felt stable, but he knew that something important had changed. He understood that safety is not just about knowing the procedure. It is about respecting it in every moment, because the moment a procedure is ignored is often quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not create immediate consequences, but it changes the foundation of the work. And in environments where many tasks depend on each other, even a small gap can affect the entire system. Carlos left the site that day with a clear thought. Following a procedure is not just a step in the process. It is a commitment to doing things the right way. Every time, without exception.